Hi.
How is your squad in terms of injury news or any fresh concerns there? How's it shaping up?
Yeah, we have a few issues. The one is Stuart Armstrong. In the last game at the end, he cramped a little bit and has a little bit problems now with his hamstring. So, Wood is not able to play on the weekend. We'll have a look. Maybe 2 weeks. I think he's out, and then after the Newcastle game, maybe again an option. The other thing is Sofian Boufal hit his toe at home on the table, the big one, and he couldn't train for 3 days now, and is a little bit swollen still, and will be a little bit difficult for the weekend. I think next week. I think it's not broken or something, but it's very very swollen at the moment, and has a problem. Yannick was ill 2 days, but today back in the training, and that's the latest news.
When you say Boufal hit his toe, how did he do that?
He runs through the kitchen and hit against the table, I think, or something like that.
Okay, thanks. In terms of the squad in general and the approach of the squad now going into this weekend, is there renewed belief after what they achieved at Arsenal, certainly in terms of the performance?
Let me say it is a kind of finding back to the way we played very often, and this was absolutely necessary. And sure, it gives us a lift. Sure, it would be better if you have won against Arsenal, and the chance was there. But I think the belief in the way we want to play and a few behaviors that we were missing in all the games we didn't win, I think we found it back, and it's important for the players to see that if you act like this, then you get a better chance to get something. And this was, I think, important to create energy now for focusing on the basic fundamentals and not to care too much about the shape or who plays or everything else. So everybody knows now what is about to create energy and to use this energy for focusing on the important things.
And in attack, Danny Ings is scoring goals for you, and he has great experience. How important is he going to be now going forward to have that striker with his abilities?
We discussed today how important it is that we have always guys in front that can score, and Ingsy was sure the best scorer in the moment. But I think it's his character and his mentality also when he doesn't have the ball is important for the team. And finally, we have a few guys there in front; they can always score, and this is very important for us.
Watford and Norwich are 2 home games back to back, but then also Newcastle, West Ham, and Aston Villa before Christmas. Do you feel this period now could define your season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think every period is important, but this one now against teams that are around us are very, very important. There's always 6-point games if you want. So wins are massive, and losing is also massive. So this is a very, very important period until Christmas.
Next week marks a year since you came in here. Does it feel a similar situation?
I think the points are the same at the moment, but we have 3 more games until the 6th of December, so it's still a way to go to get more points than when I was coming here. But I think, the situation is a little bit different. I think we are now working since 1 year together. We know what we have to do. The season is so far not the easiest one. We had a very difficult start, but there still is a lot of belief in what we are doing, and this gives us the energy to get points as soon as possible.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Obviously, the Arsenal game was very close to being a win, and all but one of your points have come away from home this season. Why do you think you're faring so much better on the road?
It's hard to say, but I think the history of the home games was not always ideal for creating self-confidence. I think in all of the away games we were nearly in the lead, so it was only Burnley, I think, where we were in the back, and the others were always in the lead, and this helps you massively to get something. And at home it was completely different. It was very often that we came back, so we were down immediately, and that creates an atmosphere also in the stadium that is not helpful for nobody, for the fans not, and for us also not. And this is what we have to change now, having a better start at home. But we speak a lot about this, but to do something for this is more important in the weekend. And I think we must show that we know what we have to do to come on the front foot and to get our stamp on the game. And I think this is what we must try from the first moment.
You mean from a physical point of view, or from maybe errors, or what kind of thing?
Yeah, from everything. I think if you create the first 2-3 chances, I think the crowd is there and they help you. If the opponent, or if we have 2-3 ball losing in our own half, and then the opponent has 2 chances and maybe scores once, then it's not a surprise that the atmosphere turns. So it's about us to get this positive atmosphere back in our stadium. And I think this is the message what we must give also to our fans, that we need we need the help in some moments to be positive with us, even if we make a mistake. But on the other side, try to minimize the way we make the mistakes. And when both things happen, I think then it's a bigger chance to have a better atmosphere.
Do you think then, therefore, with a couple of wins, either at home or away, but the whole mood around the stadium changes, but then also, of course, the situation in the table can change. It can all change very quickly.
Yeah, we have still a long way to go until the end of the season, and I think everybody knows that if you want to be in the end above the line, then you must start to take points consistently. We had a big chance for 3 against Arsenal. So it's now about taking the next one, and the next weeks are very, very important for us. Like the last game against Arsenal, we have to play, and when we do it like this, then we have a bigger chance.
Obviously, Watford coming, as you spoke about, they haven't really had a very good run apart from a win a couple of weeks ago. What are you expecting from them being an away game?
Yeah, but it's still a fantastic team with a few very, very good players. They changed the shape a little bit. Dini comes back in the team, so they have another option, a striker they were really missing because of his injury. And I think, this is still a team that is not easy to beat, but we play at home now, and we must focus on our game, and if you do that, then it's not so interesting who is on the other side.
Just lastly, you mentioned Danny Ings already, but he's got 6 goals, only 1 short of his total for last season. What do you put, or in the league at least, what do you put his almost better form this season down to?
I say that the most important thing for Ings is that he's fit, that he can run. And the rest, everybody knows that he has his quality in the box. He smells where he can earn something, and also the finishing was very good. And the last goal against Arsenal was also is always online, always tries to help the team, and it's not a coincidence that when he's fit and when he can work a lot, that he scores also. And I'm very happy with him in a moment.
Okay, move on to the section for 10:30 this evening. Dan.
Thanks, Jordan. Hi, Ralph. If I could just start with the news that Matt Crocker will be coming in as Director of Football Operations. Is that something you're looking forward to? Do you know much about him? Or?
Yeah, meanwhile, I know a lot about him. I know that he was just working for this club once and had a very good impact. Was part of a very successful time of this club. It was 6 years here, I think, and a lot of very good players went through his time when he was part of the club, looking for the academy and everything. And it's important for me and for the club that we have a guy that is that oversees everything, and important to have one that makes a job that he does it last time at the FA, to create a philosophy, to not only to create this philosophy, to live it. And this is what I expect from him, and this is why I'm very happy that he is coming to us. I think it's really a good thing for the club.
Were you involved in the process of picking him, or?
Yes, absolutely, and I think it's really a good job Martin did to get him here, and I'm looking forward. I'm very happy that he's coming.
And in terms of this weekend, you said just a minute ago about the players going back to basics. Did you feel that you had to go back to basics yourself as well and remember what you did so well when you first came in?
You know, sometimes if you want to make the next step in your development, you forget about the first you did. And yes, I'm also part of this team. I'm also part of a development. And development sometimes means that you have to look back and see what you lost maybe on the way. And it's for everybody in this team. And I think we win together. And if it doesn't work together, then I have also my part on this. It's normal.
And in terms of the performance at Arsenal, it looked as though the players almost had the bit between their teeth again. Is that something that you can see as well?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is when you wake up at Saturday in the morning and you know you have a Premier League game, that you are convinced about what you're doing. And that gives you a massive push from the first minute. If you are a little bit struggling and not so sure, I think that doesn't help you. And in a moment, it's everybody has the feeling that we are a little bit more in the way that we can win games. And let's have a look if you can see this on Saturday again.
Obviously, Saturday is a massive game. So, in terms of the pressure that's going to be on the players, how do you take that off of them in that sense? There's so much pressure from the fans.
No, I don't think there's more pressure than we make ourselves. I always say this: every player, every coach wants to win games, and we put the most pressure that's possible on ourselves all the time. But we need this, I think, sometimes to perform well. And the bigger the game, or the more important the game, normally the better it is. And last season we had also games where it was very important to take 3 points. But at the end, when the game starts, you don't think about that. It's more important to have a good start in the game, to have the first duels won, to have immediately a feeling that what we try to do works. And this is what we are looking for, and this is what we are working for, and this is what the whole concentration during the week is on.
And obviously a good result will put your guys in a really good place ahead of another crucial game next week as well. So it's really paramount that the performance comes on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most important thing is to take the first win, but still then it's nothing won. So we know about the importance of the next weeks, and we have still a long way to go until the end of the season. And even if this game again doesn't go in the way we want, it's still not everything lost. So let us only look on our performance and our development. And if we do this, and results, places in the table coming by the way.
Word on Michael Obafemi, he obviously came back into the team last week. Is he someone that is better playing away from home because you can play on the counter-attack, or can you use him at home as well?
I think when you reduce Michael only on his speed, I think you don't do right to him, because I think he has more than only speed. And the last time I saw him saving the balls, playing with others, coming in the red zone, turning and keeping the balls in front. So it's something of his game that developed, and it's everything based on his fitness and on his willingness to work hard for the team. I think he has still a lack of professionalism in his whole life. This is a young guy who must learn quick, and if he does this and gets more physical fit and can make this workload for a longer time, then I think he has a big future. But it's still a long way to go for him.
When you say lack of professionalism, what do you mean by that? Is he's not eating right? Or?
He knows it, and I know it. I do not have to know it.
That's fine, thank you.
Hi, Ralph.
Yeah.
Sorry, just want to talk about a lot of games between now and the new year. You've got quite a large squad. How do you balance players that aren't currently playing at the moment? How do you keep them included in the unit?
Yeah, in the international breaks, it's easier, because then you have a friendly game and you can give them a chance to play, and this is important for them. Or they are still gone away to play for an international team, and sometimes it's helpful because of them. Then they can get a few minutes. On the other side, you must look for speaking with them, telling them what you miss in a moment or what you expect more. It's not always that easy, because sometimes it's only because of the last games that you change something because it didn't work, or And when you're part of a losing team, you have no arguments or less arguments. And on the other side, when you win or when you make a good game and be part of the team, then you have a good argument to play the next again. So it's all about team performance, and this is what we are always praying. Put your ego behind, work for the team, and even if you're not playing from the beginning, you have your part of being the squad, because during the week when you train against the A team, if you want, then you have to show a good performance, because it makes it more difficult for the A team to play well, and then you have done your job, even if you're not playing from the beginning.
Recently, more players are coming off injury, and it seems as if you've got a full selection of your squad now. Do you feel as if you know your 11 to 20 players you want to consistently work with going forward?
I think it's important that they know that we need every player, and until the end of the season we have so many games. Look at our next week, we have 3 games in 7 days. So when I tell you that last week we had 4 number 10 and I didn't know who to play, and now 2 out, and suddenly you don't have this question. It goes so quick in football, and then you suddenly have the chance to play, and this is what every player has to know, because sometimes it goes quicker than you think that you play again, and then you have to be fit, then you have to be just in time in the perfect shape.
Another thing I want to be honest, you're making slightly later substitutions than you were at the start of the season. You used to be on the hour mark, and now it's getting a bit closer to 75 minutes. Is that any? Do you trust your system more now, or are you relying on your players? You think they're getting fitter?
Interesting that you tell me this. It was not so clear for me that I did this. Sometimes so when you are 3 down or 5 down in the halftime, the chance is bigger that you make a substitute earlier. But when it's working well, and when we feel that the team is in a good way, then you trust the team, and you trust the 11 is in the moment on the pitch more. That's normal. When you don't have any substitute and win games, I also take no substitute. So it's all about getting results.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.